Good afternoon, participants. Let's start the session. So, I am honored to introduce the speaker for this session, Mr. Kalyan, Senior Software Engineer in Pantech Private Limited, Chennai. So, without further ado, just want to give the hand over the session to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start now, sir.
So, fine. Good afternoon, all of you once again. So, myself, I'm Kalyan. I'm working here in Pantech e-learning from 4 years. So, today we are going to learn about object recognition and as well as pattern recognition by using the OpenCV in the Python language. So, the session will be nearly half an hour to 45 minutes theory, and remaining the session will be practically. I will show you how it is working about the patterns and object recognition. Fine. If you are having any doubts, means you can ask me in between. So first of all, coming to the main part, object and pattern recognition process. So in this case, we have to know compulsory what is image processing. Okay. So why? Because this everything patterns means that adjust information of any object based upon that only we can recognize. So in this case, definitely we have to know some basics about the images. Okay. So fine. Coming to the images part, how it will work means. So we can say image is nothing but a collection of pixels. Okay. So in each and every pixel, we are having some information regarding the light and the color information. So in between 0 to 255 range values it will store. So simply in camera we can say a device is going to store signals information into digital formats. So there we are saying the word as pixel. Okay. So whenever by collecting that pixels information, just it will make one image. Okay. So here particularly it is going to store in the matrix format. In the digital format means it is having some rows and columns information. The image is nothing but it is having some rows and columns information. So and pixels also having some range information in between the 0 to 255. Okay, so here we are having some different types of images. These are the three types of images we will use mostly. First of all, coming to the color image and grayscale image, binary image, these three, you can see the difference, how it will look like, and how we can define the three types of images. Means basically how it is going to store that pixels information. What is the range and what is the channels we are using. Based upon the digital storage process, it is divided mainly. It is divided into these three parts. So first of all, coming to the color image or BGR image, we have to say in Python clearly. So it will look like this. So first of all, I am going to the color image or BGR image we are saying. So in each in color image, each and every pixel information is having three channels: blue, green, and red. That's why we can say BGR image also, color image or BGR image also we can say. And each and every pixel information is going to store pixel information in between the 0 to 255 range. So it's a fixed 0 to 255 means we can say it's minimum. Whenever we are enhancing the pixels information, okay, so whenever we want to increase the quality of the image, in that case it will change, it may increase more than 256, 258 like that it will increase. So here generally it will store in between 0 to 255. And for each and every pixel we are having three channels: blue channel, green channel, and red channel. Okay, so we can say this BGR as a basic colors. Okay, or we can say primary colors. Based upon these three colors only, we can generate different types of colors. We can extract it. Okay, so here you can see the word in between 0 to 255 and three channels will be there. Now, based upon that, we are able to identify 2563 different types of colors. Okay. So fine. The best example nowadays we are using in camera now. So all over images, whatever we are seeing, it's best example for the color image. And next another image is the grayscale image we can say. So here there is a difference in storage process. What is the difference means we don't use three channels information to store the one pixel information. So here for one pixel we will store only for one channel we will store only one pixel. That too in between 0 to 255 only. So what is the changes we will have by storing these three channels and one channel means simply there is no particular colors in the grayscale image. Based upon the light variations, the pixels information it will store. Okay. So that's why here also the same range in between the 0 to 255. So clearly we are saying that one as shades, light shades information. So 20, 30, 40, 50. So based upon the light information, or else we can say clearly intensity. Based upon that intensity information, the pixel value it is going to store automatically in between the range values. And one more important thing uh, about the memory. So in color image, we will it will take minimum 24 bits of memory to store one pixel. Here in the grayscale image, we need only 8 bits of information to store one pixel information. Okay. So next another type of image is the black and white image, or we can say binary image also. So it's a simple thing. In the storage process, it is going to use either 0 or 1 for one pixel. Here we don't have any channels, ranges information. So simply either 0 or 1 we are going to store the format. So here 0 is nothing but black information, 1 is nothing but white color information. So for the best example, you can go QR codes and barcodes. Mostly we will use nowadays in these black and white images for that. So here based upon and each and every images having individual advantages. So surely we will use these three images in our concepts. Okay. So this is just types of the images. And next another thing, image file formats. So as the working of images, we have to know how many types of formats is there. So remember this JPG and PNG. Mostly we will use these two extensions. So remaining also we will use, but it's very less. So first of all, JPG means Joint Pictures Expert Group means it's a basic extension of image. Whenever you are capturing an image from any camera, basically you store in the JPG format. Okay. So from that again, we will apply some techniques on the image. We will do some filtering process and some enhancement process. So based upon that things, extensions will change. According to the techniques, whatever we are applying, extensions will change for the images. Like this GIF, TIF, PNG, and EMP bitmap images. So I think you know these some extensions about this. So mostly we know about the GIF files. I think we use in social media formats, right? And after this, we have to know these color combinations. So why? Because based upon these BGR only, we are going to identify all the colors, right? So how it's possible exactly means here we are having some concept, permutation and combinations we will say for the colors or color extraction process. Simply, if you observe here red and green color is there, na? So by combination of red and green, we are able to generate yellow color. Okay, so which is going to play a crucial role in color detection process. So these combinations we have to know compulsory whenever we are working on color detection. Okay. So next, for example, blue, green, red is there means 000 we will give. That is nothing but black. Okay. So whenever we are giving So whenever we are using blue as 0, red as 255 and green as 255, means the pixel information is there, na? 0, 255, 255 for BGR. It is nothing but an yellow color we can consider. So simply based upon the intensity it will store, and here by mixing the green and blue colors information we are able to generate a cyan color. Okay, so it's not only digital format, in the real time also it is applicable. Whenever we want to generate a new color, basically we will use blue, green, red as compulsory. So here by mixing red and blue also we are able to generate magenta color. It's a different type of combination. And another important thing, by mixing this blue, green and red, we are able to generate white color. This white color is the combination of these three primary colors, blue, green and red. And these yellow, cyan, magenta and remaining all colors we are saying as secondary colors. These are red, green, blue are primary colors. Okay. So like this, not only these three, we can generate like this so many different types of colors according to the combinations of the pixels information, pixels range information. Okay. So fine, this is a small introduction about the images, just images. So here we have to know the important one about the types and how it is going to store the pixels information. So it is going to store wherever we are using image processing concepts. We can use Python or MATLAB or OpenCV module in Java, also C, C++. Anyway, the important thing is this one. Image is going to store in the matrix format only by containing some rows and columns information. Okay, so it is having some location x comma y. For us, we can say simply for row and column, first column, first row, like that we can say. So for each, and that is nothing but pixel location we are seeing. So each and every pixel having again channels and ranges information according to the images types. Okay. So next, we have to know concept of image processing. Simply I'll tell you. So what is mean by image processing means? So the what are the input we are taking? Based upon the input image characters, we are going to get the output image information. Okay. So here input image characters means we can say simply ranges information, channels information. So what is the pixel is having location, and another important thing, color, and as well as shapes. Like these things we are saying as characters, image characters. Okay. So here based upon the input image characters, according to our requirement, we can get the output image. For example, if we are scanning any QR code, okay, so that is nothing but image processing only. But in our mobile, it is going to some UPI payment, or it is going to some particular website information. So simply in that image we are hiding that website information. Okay. So like that, according to our requirement. So for example, if we are using Android applications also for the filtering, right? So there also we will apply so many filters process. So according to our requirement, we can get that output based upon the input image characters. This one we are saying as digital image processing, and another type also is there in the image processing concept, that is analog image processing. So of course we are not going to work on that analog image processing, but the information is it's working on the based upon one-dimensional continuous signals. Okay, so the work of analog image processing is nothing but whatever the input image characters is there, as it is without any disturbance, as it is we are getting in the output. Okay, so like the best example we can say printers and scanners. So whatever the flexes, banners we are getting, that one is nothing but analog image processing concepts. Okay, even though the Xerox machine also we can say analog image processing. So simply without any editing, whatever the input image characters is there, as this it will get in the output by using the one dimensionals. And of course, in the digital image processing, we are using the two-dimensional signals information to convert into the pixels values. Okay. And here, this is the process generally we will use about the digital image processing, wherever we will use image processing concepts. So coming to the first one, this is image acquisition. Okay, image acquisition means how we are going to collect the data sets, particularly about the images. Okay, so there is a possibility to collect the stored data sets. So any stored video in our PC or downloading from the internet, anyone a stored data we can take, or else from the real time also we can take by using the video, real time webcam also we can take, right? So there are two possibilities according to our application and according to our information how we have to design that. So based upon that thing, we can use either data set or else any real time video. Okay, and here we have to remember if you are taking images means what type of extensions we are taking. Why? Because if you are working on particularly medical images means in that case if you are taking BMP and PNG images like that we don't need. Mostly JPG is enough. So like that, the whatever the extensions we are collecting. If it is a video means MP4 file or VLC media or else any another file like that we have to take it. So after that, after taking that image information, next we are going to pre-processing method. So pre-processing method means here again this one we can divide into three parts. This information we can divide into three parts. That is nothing but resizing, conversion, and filtering process. Okay. So why we have to apply this pre-processing? Directly we can go with any technique, right? But here pre-processing we will apply particularly to reduce the complexity of the images. So whatever the images we selected for testing or training purpose, whatever it may be, whatever the images we have taken, so that is not accurately will be there. Means there is no accuracy in the image. There is no clarity in the image. In that case, we have to do some pre-processing methods to get the clarity. So like we can apply some filtering methods of pre-processing. And another important thing, resizing will be there. Why we have to do resizing means if the image information is very big or very small, of course we are going to store in the array format only, nothing but in the matrix format. But here if the array size is small, very small or very big, in that case we cannot go through some particular applications. So whenever we are applying deep learning algorithms like CNN and RCNN, neural networks algorithms, so compulsory we have to go with some specific size. Why? Because it will be easy to compute the kernel size and apply to formulas. So that's why we will go through the particular sizing method. That is we are saying as resizing. Okay. So in the coding it will come clearly again. I'll tell you on that how we can do and why we have to do more. Okay. And another important one, conversions. Conversions is nothing but like this: color image to grayscale image and grayscale image to black and white images. That one would be. So here also same concept. To reduce the complexity of the image, we will use this conversion method. Okay. So there is also some background formulas will be there. The coding will be there. I'll tell you how it will convert basically. Okay. And here, why we have to convert? The first point is whenever we are using color image for any patterns or object recognition, any concept, we don't need a color information in the image. P means the system. Generally, system don't consider color information. Whenever we are going through the classifications, it will consider only the edges and the patterns information, particularly about the recognition process I'm saying. Whenever we are going through the color detection, in that case it should be important, but apart from that, particularly we are going through recognition, right? In that case, there is no need of color information. So definitely we are converting it into grayscale. So here by converting into grayscale, we know already here there is only light information will be there. The best example we can say older days movies I told you now. And here another advantage also is there. What is that means? There is no need to calculate three channels information. Whenever we convert it into grayscale, I'm saying there is no need to calculate three channels information. So blue, green, red. In the grayscale image, we are having only one channel for one pixel. Okay, so it's easy to calculate somewhat. So that's why. And one more thing, we can convert black and white images also sometimes. So mostly we will use black and white images conversions to find out the edges information of that object, and based upon that the pattern recognition and everything. So mostly we will use the black and white images also. These are the conversions we will use mostly, and these are after this pre-processing methods. After converting or resizing the images information according to our requirement, next we can apply any particular technique. So these are the pre-processing methods I told you already. So next we can apply any techniques. So techniques means here we are using recognition process. So first of all, whenever we have to go with the recognition process, purely it will depend upon the training concepts. How we train the objects information, the images information, how we train it, it's very important. And this training will depend mostly on the features. Features means purely the shape, collection of shapes information. For example, if you want to detect an object or else any hand, any information, so the first of all the machine have to know how the body will be there. So whatever the patterns or the edges information that should be have. So in that how to detect the body, the training process is very important, and the feature extraction process. And next segmentation means we can say for dividing the information into part by part. Like that, different things is there. Technologies enhancement means improving the quality of the image, and the classification means we can say this face unlocking method is there, like that, particularly with some names. So retrieval process, noise removal, steganography and watermarking are the technologies we will use to hide the information of any text or any another image information. We can hide, and copyright protection will be there. We can communicate secretly from one image to another image, from the receiver to sender. We can communicate secretly. We can hide any information in the both concepts, steganography and watermarking. Fusion means by combining multiple images of information, we are able to get one according to our requirement. We are able to get the information. Like we will use mostly this one in satellite communications, Google Maps, like that. And edge detection means to find out the edges information of objects. We can do a smoothing and sharpening process to adjust the edges information afterwards. So these are some of the technologies we will use, and here these are our applications of image processing. So in that CV is computer vision is one of the application we will use, and next object recognition process is there. So these are all how what we can do through the image processing concepts: face recognition, number plate recognition. So number plate recognition means simply face recognition means we know already. So face unlocking system is there now. So in our Android mobiles also we are having. It's now included with AI, artificial intelligence. And number plate recognition means simply now the traffic police are in unparking vehicles, no parking vehicles, and another triple riding without helmet, without mask, also they are capturing. Instead of the man, if the machine has trained to find out whether the man is weared mask or not, whether triple riding is there or not, automatically it will detect the number plate, and whatever the characters is there in that number plate, it can clearly extract. Okay, so ABCDs and numbers already trained the system will be there, and but the machine can extract it clearly like that. So like this, so many applications is there: lane departure warning, automatic parking systems, so automatic driver monitoring system. So without driver also we can drive the information. we can drive the car. So fine. So in our thing, forensic we have to know why, because pattern recognition will be there now. So pattern recognition means that thumb recognition is there now. Our thumb patterns will be there now. That one mostly will be used by forensic people only. So fine. So this is a small introduction about the image processing concept. So why I have taken this much time for this means coding is okay. So whatever I have said, you can refer afterwards and you can know. So, but the information, whatever the information, the entire thing we are using is this one only, image processing concepts mostly. Okay. And apart from this, we may use Python language and OpenCV modules. So I'll give a small introduction about the Python language also. Maybe it will help to the coding of syntaxes, whatever we are using in the content. So coming to the Python language, it's like same another languages, like it's one of the high level language we can say, and it is also object oriented too. So you know already, whenever the program we are taking, it is having two types of things, two types of programmings, interpreters and compilers. So our Python is an interpreter type of language. So what is the advantage we are having compared to the compilers and the interpreters means, in the compilers, whenever we are executing the program, whatever the source code is there, whenever we are executing, so it has to convert it into zeros and ones. That is nothing but compilation process we will say. So after converting that source code to object code, zeros and ones, that code have to be executed. But in the interpreter language, not like that. In the interpreter language, whenever we are typing the source code in the script mode, we will say in the Python we are having script mode. And in the script mode, whenever we are writing the code, automatically it will convert in the background, it will convert it into zeros and ones. Means the source code, the object code is already there. So whenever we are executing, the interpreter will execute that object code directly and it will give the output. So because of this one, we can get fast information of output. Right? And one more thing, here interpreter means it will execute the program line by line. Okay. So whenever we are having any error, it will show clear line information and where we are having error and what is the error, clearly it will say. So these are advantages. First of all, we have to know in the Python about the modules. Okay. So the first point is there, implement complex logic with very few lines of codes. So this is just because of the modules. So OpenCV is one of the module which we will use in our today's session. NumPy is there, IMUtils. Apart from that, so many modules is there. So in each and every modules, the aim is only one thing. With the very few lines of codes, the task have to be done. Okay. So here, because of these modules only, if we are taking any task compared to the other languages, in the Python we can go with very few lines of codes, right? And here it's available for so many platforms. So mostly we will use in the data science nowadays. Means it is available for so many platforms, I'm saying. And it is fast to learn and develop the application means Python is the open source. So because of this one, we can easily develop some applications. And before that, another important one, Python is a user-friendly language, and we can say beginner's language also. So why? Because whenever the person who want to learn any new language, particularly, we can directly prefer the Python language. Okay. Beginner's language will say. And another important thing, user friendly means it should be like in general English. So whatever the commands and the syntax formats is there, it should be like in general English, like a read, plot, show, like that. Some contents, by seeing that source code, you are able to understand what is happening there clearly. Not 100%, at least 10 to 15%, you can understand directly if you are having some information about the English and some coding points. That's enough. Okay. And he is the founder of the Python language, Lido and Resume. He's from Netherlands. So he is also like in the when he was a student, so he want to develop one language which all the students can do development work. Okay, so that is the main aim of the Python. And there are some platforms I'm including where we can use this Python language, data processing. And one more thing, whatever the platform we are using, for each and every platform, individual modules will be there. Okay, so here I am saying data processing module toolkit to do the data processing informations. So signal processing means which we are using now comes under the image processing concepts only. So we can go with a clear neuroscience, means medical images information also we can go clearly. And the gaming also we can design by using Pygame module. Okay. So Maya Python we will use for the movie creations mostly. So some by for the some graphics works. And softwares also we can design. And another thing, website development. So this purpose we will use one framework, Django, and Django also will say. It is very famous and the important one framework in the Python language to develop the websites. Okay, so people who are interested in the website, they may follow this Java framework. Okay, and here I have to say a small difference. Python versions 2 is there. Python second version and the third version officially released. So 0th and 1s there are not at all released. So just for the syntax purpose, and the 2 and 3 we can use. Okay, but again in that better to use 3 only right now. So why? Because 2 is created a platform for the Python language, and here a lot of the modules has not developed still now in 2. Okay, so we have to go with the 3 only. This is better. We are having some advanced information in the Python 3 modules, so that's why it's better to use the 3 only. And some small coding differences is there. That's okay. So like parentheses, indentations, like that. Some coding syntaxes also will be there. We can change that. And here you can see after the installation of the IDLE, here we are having 2 modes of execution. The first one is interactive mode and second one is script mode, we will say. So interactive mode we will use mostly for one-line command executions, and the entire program also we can execute in the command prompt. And not only for this one line and executions, mostly whenever we need any packages or modules, in that case we will use this command prompt only to install the packages. So here script mode means simply the source code we can write, and it will store the information with the .py extension. Ideally extensions will store with the .py. The source code we are able to execute. So fine. So these are all errors we will get, these 3 types of errors. Mostly we will get syntax error and runtime error. Semantic error is based upon the structure. We don't get this much. This one mostly. Syntax error means Python is case sensitive. Okay. So whatever the coding we are typing, some conditions will be there. The syntax we have to follow compulsory. Means instead of capitals, if you type small also it cannot take. The syntax have to be very clear. Okay, and indentation errors also will be there. Whenever we are following some loops conditions, in that case we have to follow some statements and indentations compulsory. So that one are we are saying as syntax errors. Means before executing the program. Means executing means in the background the compilation will be done, but before going to show the results, it will show directly. First of all, clear this syntax. Afterwards, we can execute. And next, runtime error. Runtime error means simply if any variable we defined wrongly, and if any package is not installed, like that. So some errors will be there now whenever we are executing about the input images and the output variables names like that. In that time, particularly, it will show the runtime error. Okay. So fine. This is the information, the theory information about the Python and the image processing concepts. Next, a small introduction about the CV2 module also. Okay. So it's also important one. So what is CV and why we have to use means? So it's the abbreviation we can say open source computer vision. Okay. So the name itself it is having it's a open source. Means any person can access the code and any person can edit the code according to their requirements. Okay. It's on in online also it's available. So here the definition. So simply if I want to say means whatever the image processing concepts is there, the methodologies and the technologies of the images in the real time it will concentrate. CV will concentrate on the real time. We can say about the videos. Okay. So particularly about the images also applications will be there in CV, but mostly I'm saying it will concentrate on the real time videos. Okay. And it is originally developed by the Intel processor. Intel. So simply the main aim is we can say for the real-time applications to implement the real-time application for the image processing we will use CV mostly. Okay. So here we can see the capabilities of that one. Whenever we are going through images only in the CV2 module, so whenever we are going through images only, we can go with this like general image processing concept, reading and converting like that. Transformations means converting it to some another like a filtering process we can say. And next fitting means like this identifying the face and patterns of the images in the image. So next optical flow means it's also related to the patterns information only. And segmentation is nothing but dividing the images into part by part and identifying the layout of that object. We can say that one as clearly texture information. So texture information we can say. Texture means not only the layout, inbuilt edges information also. Overall the cropped image, whatever the image is there, that entire object information, layout and inbuilt information we can collect. That is we are saying as texture informations. And coming to the video, so as well camera calibration means from the real time we can access the camera. For example, if you are using laptop also directly you can access the camera through CV easily, and we can identify the pose estimations. Features means it's about I told you now whenever we are going through the recognition of any object or any information. So first of all we have to do this features extractions only. Next depth maps means it's about the three-dimensional information. So nowadays we will use Kinect camera for that. So mostly we will use in sports manner. The person how he is moving in the machine also have to move same in the same manner it have to move. So in that case the camera is very important. It's based upon the three-dimensional, and in that case also we can use CV. Depth maps means to find out the distance, height, width and the distance also we can identify. Based upon that we can do applications also. Next is nothing but object detection. So like our face and that hat or any information also we can detect in the video, particular video. And here we can see where we can use CV library. Means there is no particular limit will be there. So almost we can use anywhere. So first coming to the language means not only in the Python, we can use Java, C, C++ languages also to implement the CV environments. Okay. And coming to the operating systems, it's also we can use anywhere, like not only for the Windows, Linux and Ubuntu platforms also, Mac OS platforms also we can use. And the hardware means people who are in ECR, people like that means electronics, they know all mostly. So now we are using central processing unit CPU, right? Like the GPU and some hardware devices also is there, like Raspberry Pi and ARM7 microprocessor and microcontrollers. In that case also we can use CV library and the particular hardware types also. So it's available for all the platforms of environments I'm saying. So these are some applications. So which comes under the image processing only, face recognition, object lane detection, all the things we can do. Mostly the difference is the real time will be there in the CV library. So these I have done some information already. Face recognition, edge and object. So fine. Let me go through some practical sessions here. So first of all, going to the pattern recognition. So here, but the patterns means in CV we are having some inbuilt like modules will be there. In the CV module we are having some inbuilt attributes. That attributes can detect the patterns mostly. Patterns means here basically we have to understand like triangle, circular, and rectangular shapes will be there now. So based upon that only it is able to identify the patterns, and mostly the curved features also it can identify. So this application is purely related to the hand gestures recognition process. Okay. First, I'll execute the program. You can see. So here you can see. So here it is identifying our fingers. Okay. So the concept is we are saying as background subtraction method. So here we are having this one. This one we are saying as background subtraction method. So here and the patterns will be there. So clearly we can see the thresholding process will be there. So how we can do this one and what is this process? Step by step we will go. So first of all, this one exactly we don't need. Why? Because it's our pattern recognition concept. No? So there is no need to detect a particularly hand. Okay. So here, this is the concept to read the video generally. Fine. Coming to here, it is very important. This one. Import CV2, NumPy and Maths. So these are all the libraries we can say. Okay, or the modules also we can say. So whenever we want to write, any particular coding in the Python, so first of all we have to know what are the modules we are going to use in that application. What is the modules we have to use? So that's why first we have to import that modules. So CV means we know already. I told you now. So to do the image processing information, we will use the CV2 libraries. It's about the images or videos or pre-processing methods or to apply the techniques, whatever it may be regarding the related to the images. We will use CV. And another important thing is NumPy. This one we will say as a numerical Python. So numerical Python is nothing but whatever the information is there about the data I am saying, whatever the data information is there, it is going to store in the matrix format. So we can say that one as an array format. Okay. So there is a difference between the array and the matrix particularly. So by using the numpy, we can generate the arrays, two-dimensional arrays with some rows and columns information. So here, according to the data, it will store and say. Okay. So whenever we are using images to read, in that case, particularly, it is going to store in the matrix format. Okay. So next, another one is the import math. This is simply about the mathematical calculations. So like a plus b minus b square roots and multiplication, division, all the mathematical operations is there. So to write some own formulas, we will use this math module. So that's why here we are importing import maths. So fine. And another important thing. So maybe you will use Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook or else Anaconda Navigator Spider. Maybe you know already. So just for information, I will show you how to install the IDLE first of all. Fine. Okay. Just taking too much time. So I think you know how to use this IDLE and of that Jupyter and the Spider already. So after importing these packages, here I am writing the code to read any video. Okay. So in the overall Python language, this dot information is very important. So why? Because here before that you will use one library. Fine. Before that we will use one library, and from that library we will call back some attributes information. Okay. So here this hand.xml means XML is a database already. So it's based upon the shapes like patterns of shapes information. It will trained already. So here it is able to detect the hand now. But how we can load this XML file information, hand.xml file, the train pattern information, how we can load in the Python means that too by using the CV2 only. So for that here we are using CV2 dot, the attribute we will use is cascade classifier. Okay. So cascade classifier we are using, and of course here just variable name we are giving. So next we are going to start the streaming process directly. So CV2 dot video capture. The attribute to read any video we will use that is video capture. Okay. So afterwards, so whenever the video is going to read, here we can give any stored data, means any stored video information also we can give, or else if you want to go with the real time, simply we can give 0. So in each and every attribute, it will follow some conditions compulsory. So here 0 is nothing but it's indicating the initial camera, initial beat color camera, BGR camera. Okay. So here now I am using CPU. For that I have connected some webcam. Or else if you are using laptop means inbuilt webcam will be there. So that's one is going to start automatically. So from that we are going to collect the video information
Participants kindly wait. I think sir is having some network problem.
Yes, hello everyone. Yeah, because of some net connection.
Yes, sir.
Participants kindly bear there is a problem with the speaker. I think some network issue is there. Kindly bear it.
Yes, now clear now.
Yes,
Screen
sir.
and clear. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So continue this like 5 minutes break. Some technical issues. Fine. I'll continue here. So here we will start clearly video streaming process, and this one is to separate the frames. So why? Because whenever we are doing video streaming, compulsory we have to separate the frames. Just we are showing separated frame image step by step. In that case, it will become like a streaming process. Okay. So in that process, here we are separating the frame by using the dot read function. Okay, and to separate that frame compulsory we need two variables information. So why? Because this ret, the always remember this user variable we can give any name. Okay, so not only ret any abcd information we can give, but here the first attribute information is about null matrix. So we don't have any information. So what is this advantage means? Whenever the frame is separated from our video, this frame, okay, so is going to add in this, right? So because of these two variables information to store the video, frame information, so we will use these two frames. It will help to do the streaming process little bit fast. Okay. And next, the separated frame information just we are taking. So our concept is we have to go with the pattern recognition. Okay. So here to recognize this pattern, particularly we are taking one rectangular box. So I hope in the execution process you can see. So from the entire execution, just I have created one rectangular box. So why? Because it will help to give the particular pattern information in the box, rectangle box. Why? Because we cannot. So in our streaming process, we are having different types of patterns and objects information. In that case, it will be confused. So that's why the background have to be played in that case, and in that clearly we are giving some pattern information. Okay. So to do that one separately, I am creating one rectangle box. So to create that rectangle box, here we are using this attribute value from the CV2 library. Okay, and the important thing is the conditions. So to create the rectangle box, here we are using on which image we have to create the rectangle box, the variable information we are giving, and this is about the size. So size or location we can say clearly. So where from which point to which point we have to crop the information is. So in the entire images in the streaming process information, we are saying that clearly from 100 row of 100 column to 300 row of 300 column. Okay, so particularly in this location it is generating one rectangle box. Okay, so this is just about XML locations, and next is about the color. So the rectangular box is going to create with the green color. So as I told you, blue, green, and red. So blue is 0. So individually, remember, individually each and every channel having in between the 0 to 255 range values. So here it's about the color. The rectangular box, by using which color we have to generate. So here I am using green color to generate the rectangle box. So that's why blue and red I am keeping 0. So next, this is about the width information. So the rectangular box width information. So if you want to increase the width information of the rectangle box, here we can use 1, 2, 3 like that. It's like a mm, 1 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm like that. So like the size we can increase. So next here, we are cropping the rectangle box information. So what is the difference between creating rectangle and cropping the rectangle information means? So simply on the image, wherever it may be, on the image according to our location, we can create one rectangle box. But so we have to take that rectangle box, whatever the information is there in that rectangular box, we have to calculate. In that case, to take that information separately, we are using this cropping method. Okay. So here also the syntax will be changed. What is that means? From which image we have to crop, and from where to where we have to crop. So clearly it is saying from 100 row to 300 column. Just we have to crop that information. Okay. So after cropping that rectangle box information, now so these are all comes under the pre-processing methods only, and here we are continuing that pre-processing method. We are converting that color image information to grayscale image. So to convert that information, here we are using CVT color. Okay, so CVT color is the attribute information in the CV2 library, which we will use to convert the color information. So fine. Next, the condition is which image we have to convert the variable information we are giving, and from which color to which color we have to convert that condition we are giving. CV2 dot color underscore means the color information we are converting to gray. This is the condition BGR to gray. So here the total information, the pixels information, color information is going to convert into grayscale, and it is going to store in this variable. Okay. So what is the advantage means? I told you already. Instead of calculating 3 channels information for 1 pixel, by converting into grayscale, 1 channel information is enough. Okay. So fine. So next, after converting that, now we are identifying the hand in that. So just the XML file information we are uploaded here in the cascade variable. So cascade dot detector multiscale. Detector multiscale is an attribute to find out the feature matching. So in the feature matching I told you na in the video staging process. So whatever the grayscale in our input image, in our grayscale input image, whatever the hand features is matching, it is going to find out that features information and it will store here in the hand. Okay. These are the parameter values. Here it's about the matching points only. We can use 1 and 2, 3. Any information we can use. So next we are going to some filtering method. Okay, it's also in the process of in the pre-processing method. So it's a filtering process. So to apply the filtering process, here we are using Gaussian blur. Okay, so Gaussian blur we will use. It's one of the filtering process. So mostly we will use to remove the blurriness in our video or image. To remove the blurriness, we will use this Gaussian blur. So next, the condition is, of course, for which image we have to apply the Gaussian blur effect, and clearly value we have to give. Value means it's about the kernel size. So whenever we are applying any particular technology on the image, so we cannot apply directly on the entire image. So for example, here I am saying 300 rows or columns. Any information, directly we cannot change that information. So for that purpose, we will take kernel by kernel. Okay. So here I am saying that kernel size is 35. So for example, this is an entire image means if you want to apply the Gaussian blur filtering process. So first I will take 35 rows and 35 columns information. I will take some kernel information. For that I will apply the filtering process. Next another kernel like this. By applying by kernel, I am changing overall images information. Okay. So after applying that the filtering information, next the important one, thresholding process. So this thresholding process is the conversion of black and white image. That's it. Okay. But why I am saying very important means based upon this thing only we are identifying the patterns. So as I told you previously in theory, whenever we are going through the edge detection process, compulsory threshold is very important. So nothing but converting into black and white. So threshold is nothing but here we are having some formula, maximum plus minimum by 2 formula will be there. Based upon that threshold value, we are converting the pixels information into either 0 or 1. Okay, so we are converting the why because for example it's a grayscale image or the color image, whatever the input may be. So that input image we have to convert into black and white, right? So in that case, black and white means only 0 or 1. So the 255 range information we have to convert into either 0 or 1. So that information is based upon the threshold value only. Okay. So based upon the threshold value only, we will convert into either 0 or 1. So the conditions will be, so same thing, on which image we have to apply the threshold concept and what is the minimum and maximum values we have to take. So here 127 plus 255 divided by 2 and the threshold value we are taking. Based upon the threshold value, we are converting this blurred image into either 0 or 1. So to continue the process, here we are using CV2 dot threshold binary. Binary means same process, converting into zeros and ones. And here I am adding plus CV2 dot threshold OTSU. So what is this OTSU means? We can say it is a process of adaptive thresholding. So fine, I will inform to the management. We can share that recording video. Okay. So fine. So now coming to this concept, here also means we have to say it's an adaptive thresholding process. Adaptive means according to the maximum and minimum values. Okay, so it will change either 0 or 1. Okay, so mostly it will try to collect more ones information whenever we are using OTSU thresholding. And next here this counters detection. Here it will start the first step of the pattern discrimination. Means these are all not steps means no, it's also in the concept of image processing mostly the acquisition and pre-processing. In the image processing, the pure technique we are going pattern detection. Okay, so here the first step important step is find the contours. Okay, so what is this find contours means? So mostly it is so we will use this find contours to find out the black and white variations. Okay, so if we are having any white color or black color informations, to vary that informations we are using the contrast detection. Okay, so if you observe here the conditions tree, so threshold dot copy. So threshold of copy means this threshold one is there, this variable information. This is nothing but converted into black and white image, converted into black and white image, the original color image. Okay, the converted black and white image information, we are taking one another copy. Okay, so on that one we are applying the counters. So why we have to take another copy means just we are showing this information already. So by converting into black and white image, so just by generating one copy information for that, we are finding the counters. So clearly again I am saying counters mostly we will use to find out the triangle shape. Okay, so mostly we will use to find out the triangle shape. And here another important thing, we will go through find out the black and white variations. So these are the conditions. These are the conditions about that find counters and the threshold dot copy. And here this is the process to find out the shapes. As I told you, so we will say this one as retrieving method. So retrieving means just collecting the shapes information. So here tree is nothing but whatever the counter what is the type of counter we have to collect. So the shape information. So now we are working on the patterns of fingers, right? In that case we will use this tree. So for example, if we are having some rectangle pattern analysis, so the curved pattern analysis is there. In that case we can use some another information, attributes information. Next CV2 dot chain approximate. So this one is about how many number of counters it is detected. Okay, so chain means, for example, one triangle it is detected and the next triangle. So like this, based upon our hand, not only hand, I am saying clearly shapes information. So according to the shapes, how many number of counters it is detected, it is going to store here. Okay, so in this counters it is going to store in this variable. Okay, fine. Now CNT is equals to max counters we are saying. So it's simply how many number of counters it is detected. So for example 4 or 5, we are finding one maximum value. So remember one thing, counters means individually 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 like that. How many counters is there? That counters it will take. But how many number of counters collected? Overall average like 5 or 6 or 3 or 4. How many counters it is detected? To find out that one, here we are using maximization formula. Okay, so we can say like one average formula also, mean formula also we can say. So by using this max condition, here for our counters, we are applying the lambda function. So lambda function means it is repeating for this x. Okay, so for example here counter 1 is there. For that counter 1 we are finding out the area. Okay, so for the first counter we are finding out the area and we are going to store here. And next by using this lambda function, for next counter it will find out the area and it will store here. Okay, for each and every individual counter it will find out the area and it will store here the maximum values. Next by detecting that counter, here you can see just simply whatever the counters it is detected. Okay, so the layout, particularly for that layout I am plotting one rectangle box again. So by executing, I'll show, you can understand it more clearly. So it is taking a little bit time. So here you can see. So this one is about the first one. I told you now 300 rows and 100 columns like this. In this is 100 comma 100 location. This is 300 comma 300 location. Okay. So with the green color I plotted one. Next again I am plotting one bounding box. So I'll give you this information. You can see one red color line is plotting again. I think so here clearly this rectangle box again plotting. So why it is plotting means because of this function only. Okay, CB2 dot bounding rectangle. So for example, this CNT is this one means this patterns means. So whenever the, for example, if you can see here, so where any particular counter is detecting means in that case only it is showing clear rectangle, red color rectangle. Otherwise, it won't show. So here I'll show you again clearly. So this whenever this CNT means whenever the patterns is detector. In that case only it is creating one clear rectangle box for that particular patterns. Okay. So whatever the pattern shape may be, whatever the pattern size may be. Okay. So apart from that is simply first of all it is creating one rectangle box for that. Okay. So for that purpose here we are using this bounding rectangle. And always whenever we want to plot any rectangle information, we have to give the location. From which location to which location we have to plot the rectangle box. So here on our cropped image, we are plotting the rectangle box. And here x comma y plus w y plus h means. So this type of formula we will use generally. So here you can see, for example, rectangular box is very small, red color rectangle. Now it's very big. Okay, so here if I'm expanding means the rectangular box also increasing, right? So for that purpose, here we are using this x comma y comma x plus w comma y plus h. What is this one means? Simply according to the width and height information of that bounding box. It is going to plot. The rectangular box is going to plot according to the width and height information. Okay. Next, this is about the color information. You know, blue, green, red. So now our rectangular box plotting particularly in the red color because here I am giving the code like this. By keeping blue and green 0, red I am giving 250. Okay. Next, in the pattern recognition process, we have to go with convex hull. Convex hull means it's finding out entire area information. So, for example, this information is there means, so clearly how much area is there, total area, how much is there. That one we are saying as convex hull. Okay. So by finding out that entire area hull information, now what we are doing means, same as like that, we are creating one null matrix. Not null matrix, zeros matrix we are creating. So this is the result you can see here. So this is the null matrix. Why we have to create null matrix means, I told you now the background have to be very clear, plain. In that case only the counters we can identify easily. So that's why according to the size of that rectangle box, I am creating one zeros matrix here. Okay, now what I am doing means, so according to that size information, okay, so according to the size information of CNT, after finding that, here what I am doing is just I am adding two informations. Okay, so to add that two information, here I am using this content, CB2 dot convexity defects. So this is the attribute we will use to add this CNT. CNT means you can say this real time color image information to the zeros information, black and white image. So by adding that information, initially I am taking counters as 0. Okay, counters as 0. Now, so now what is the concept means? Now we have to find out the counters, right? So how many number of counters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many number of counters is there according to the patterns? So for that purpose, here I am using the mathematical formulas. Okay. So before going to this mathematical formulas, CB2 dot draw counters is there now. This draw counters is about just to plot this. So this green color information is there now. This one we are saying as draw counters. So on that threshold one means the converted black and white image information, just we are plotting that counters information. Okay. So fine. So coming to the main point, how to identify the counters. So for I in range defect dot shape. So initially we are taking the shapes information as 0. Okay. So by taking that information, starting we are only creating again and again starting and ending points. For example, so this is the starting point and this is the ending point means. So initially I am taking that starting and ending point as zeros. Now this is the formula. So please observe this formula clearly. So I am writing one formula by using the mathematics module. That shortcut we are saying as math, M-A-T-H. So we uploaded already. So we can say import. We imported already. So here math dot. From that math module, we are using one attribute square root. So square root means here end of 0 and this is the mathematical formula clearly. So what it is doing means from the starting point to the ending point it is going to find out the exponential values. So exponential values means the power value. Okay. So otherwise we can say this entire overall formula to find out the distance. Okay. So under root of x square plus y square we will say algebraic formula. So to find out the overall distance from the starting point to the ending point we will use that one. So here square root means under root of x square plus this double star will indicate the power and this will is y square. Okay. So here whatever the hand information I am giving. So clearly from this point to this point one pattern is there now. So overall up to the end. So whatever the distance is there, overall distance, the distance to find out we are using this mathematical formula by using this math. Okay. And after completing this one, next we are going to find out the angle. So whether it's a 90 degrees angle is there or not, or else if we are 40, simply less than that 90 degrees is there or not. So to find out this one, if angle is less than or equals to 90 degrees, so what we are doing means we are adding some extra counter. Okay. So why we have to add some extra counter information means, see you can see clearly. This is 90 degrees. Okay. So this is less than. So in that case, immediately you can see the counters in between the fingers, the red color counters it is showing. Right. Okay. So this normal one, immediately it is showing counters. Fine. So for that purpose here we are adding counters immediately, and the counters also we are detecting by plotting one circle, cv2 dot circle on the crop image. So here this one is for center x comma y location. Okay, so with the red color this is about the color, and this is -1 is about to fill the counters. Voice not clear. Okay, I will put my mic very clear nearby. Thank you. Thanks for your information. So fine. So next here, so based upon the color it will work. So this counter we can give any color, blue, green, red here clearly. And -1 is you can see this empty counter is there now. This empty counter you can see it's like fulfilled with red color. The circle is fulfilled with red color now. So for that purpose we will use this -1. Okay. Now coming to the point, cv2 dot line. Line means it is plotting one overall line on that one. So overall pattern. Okay. So just to plot the line, if you don't want to show the line, in that case there is no need to use this command. Okay. So this line, no need to use this line. Fine. After that here you can see it is just one conditions. If count underscore defects is equals to 1, means whenever the counter detected as 1. So now the counter is nothing is there, right? So count underscore defects is equals to initially we had taken this defects as 0, upside the line is there, you can observe. Initially I am taking as 0. So whenever the counter is detected as 1, so you can see clearly here the counter it is detected. So based upon the pattern of our fingers, so we can say clearly rectangle box. We can say very clearly rectangle box and the triangle information. CV2 dot 3 we use now. So on that one. So here you can see this is one triangle information. This is one triangle information. In between it is detecting one counter. Okay. So whenever the counter is equals to 1. So this is just about add some text information on our image. So I'll show you. So here you can see clearly fingers 2. Any information we can give. Any text information, just it is just about the text information. And this is about where we have to plot x comma y location. For example, here it's showing clearly here and means at the 50 rows and 50 columns it is showing clearly. So for that purpose, location purpose, and to this one is about the font style. We can give any font style information. So 1 comma 2 is about the millimeters width information. Okay. So in the same process here, just I had added this information in the shell. You can see clearly. So whenever I am saying, whenever the two fingers detected according to the patterns, means whenever clearly one counter detected, here I am saying, okay, so turn on fan. So if any dumb people is there, they cannot show or they cannot say means, simply they can show the hand gestures. So this is just one application, we can create any number of applications. So clearly another one. So whenever I am showing 3 again, so if I want to turn off the fan, here turn off fan. So here and I have to type. So again 4 means turn on light I have written. 5 means turn off light. So whenever the 4 fingers is detected, turn off light it will show clearly. Okay. Otherwise no counter detected. So this is the condition I had written. So find the condition here I just for that purpose we have to use if loop. If counter defect is equals to 1, text I am writing here. So you can see clearly there fingers 2 the text, and the print means in our ideally it will print turn on fan, turn on fan. Why? Because the screen we can kept anywhere. If you want to go with the real, this is real time only. Like if you want to create one application in our home means it should be like so some cost will be there. So we have to use some processor and wide connections like that. So we can put our screen anywhere. So for example, if you are sitting in our personal room also, what is happening in another room we can see very clearly. Okay. So these are the conditions. And next else means if no counter detected means I am saying simply print no counter detected. There is no particular hand means. Okay. And these are the remaining things. It is just the sorting it will show. Put your gesture on square. So here this title. So we have to give our gesture any pattern, our pattern information we have to give it in this rectangular box. And next HS stack means it is about the cropping information. Okay. So next I am show means, so if I am just putting this information in comment means like this in comment means it won't show this entire window. So it's very important, not easy. So if I am just putting in the comment means the program will execute very clearly, but it won't show the output here simply. Okay. And next wait key we will use generally to give any delay purpose. Okay. So any delay purpose we will use this wait key information. So for example, first frame to another frame, if you want to give 2 seconds time, in that case here we have to give 2000. 2000 milliseconds means 2 seconds it will take. Okay. So here I am giving some delay as 0.001. Why we have to give delay means, So compulsory we have to use. Why? Because at least 0 also we have to keep. So without any reference, the frame will not go to first frame to another frame. Okay. So that's why at least 0 have to we have to keep. CV2 dot wait is 0. Fine. So this is about the patterns recognition. So mostly the patterns how it will recognize means we have to remember based upon the black and white images edges information. Okay, so it's very important. And apart from that, in that we can write any application according to our requirements. It's a simple thing like this. Of course, we can add here. Sound information also by using the Python sound play sound module. Here we can add any mp3 files also simply. So if we are not seeing the screen, in that case it will give one announcement. So turn on the fan, turn off the light, like that anything. And we can add some more extensions also without any human being by including the machine learning concepts. Directly it will turn on the lights simply. So like that also we can do so many applications. So it's simply about the pattern recognition, how it will work. So fine. So in this overall content, you have to in the overall content, if you know about this information, counters detection information, it's enough. Okay. So it's very important. That's why I'm saying find counters. How we are finding the counters on the image means based upon the retrieving method and based upon the shape tree method we are using, and how many counters it is detected, chain approximation we are saying that. Okay, so this is very important. Why? Because if we understand this one means next we have to change any another information, any another counter we have to, any another shape information, pattern information we have to find out means just we have to change here the attributes values. Instead of tree we can give another information. Okay, so fine. This is about how the patterns will understanding will so how it will work, the pattern recognition process. Okay, and how we can design some applications based upon that simply. So in the conditions, if this is if loop, this is condition, this is about the statements. So in the statements we can add, I told you any mp3 file or any another video file also we can add to play it simply. Okay, so fine. Next, another important one, time is going on, so we have to move on another important one, uh, object detection process. Okay, so before going to work on this object recognition process in the real time, we have to know about two things. That is the database models. So the first one is .cafe model and another one is proto.txt model. So I'll execute the program. We can understand it easily by executing. So here in the real time I am executing, and you can see, so it's clearly saying bottle, and it's giving the prediction levels also 31, 40. Okay, and you can observe clearly whenever I am facing my bottle on my face means it is not able to detect, it is overlapping. You can see clearly here in the edge detection process. Okay, so because of that one, this patterns is not able to recognize. So in our previous program also, if we are giving like this information means the patterns is not able to recognize properly. Okay, so now you can see person detected 99.99% clearly. So fine. So first of all, before going to the code I told you now, we have to know about the models. So first, cafe model is nothing but it is a deep learning model which is trained by the algorithm like CNN or RCNN, any algorithm we can use. So what we are having in that model means by using one particular algorithm, the weights information. So here it is clearly it's saying object is detected and prediction levels also it is showing, right? So for that here in the cafe model it is trained by this particular objects information. So how the bottle will look like based upon the pattern, how the boat will look like, how the car, person, cat, chair, like this nearly 28 objects information is there. Okay, so TV monitor, train, sofa, plant, person, motorbike, like this. Okay, so all the things is trained and loaded the weights information in this cafe model. Okay, and next proto txt. So we can say again, I don't need to explain clearly, it's a model we can say simply to store the weights information in that. Next, proto.txt is simply a text file about the CNN algorithm. Okay, so it's just a text file how the patterns is identified about the objects. So it is repeating again and again. First I go to the first one. So whenever we are going through CNN, convolutional neural network process, in that we are having minimum multiple layers, like 2-3 layers will be there minimum. Okay, so in that you can see clearly we are taking mobile net SSD, that cafe model name only. So here first of all we are defining the input image shape. So with one row and 1, 3 location up to the 300 rows and 300 columns. Now whenever we are applying the convolutional algorithm, so we have to follow 3 layers minimum. Convolutional 2D layer and the pooling layer, you will say. Pooling layer and afterwards fully connected layer will be there. Okay, so these are the 3 layers mostly we will use to train that model. Okay, objects information. Now coming to the code mostly. So as I told you already, so first of all we have to import the necessary packages in our program. So IMUtils we will use. Well, IMUtils is nothing but image utilizations of package. So image utilizations means simply this pre-processing, like resizing or conversions, these types of information. Shape identification from our face, like that some attributes is there in the IMUtils. Okay. So and next numpy we know already, numerical Python. Rparse is the content. Just we can execute this entire program by using one command. Okay, so that one we are saying as usage. What is happening means by using this rparse command, we can add the txt file, proto.text txt file, and the cafe model and the video streaming process. Everything we can combine. Okay, so by using this rparse commands, we can add line by line. And next, IMUtils I told you. So we can use the for video streaming and we can use for another purpose also. So next, time for delay purpose, CV2 as a module. Okay. So now by using this rparse information, what we are doing means just we are reading whatever the necessary information we need. Cafe model and the txt file just we are reading from our path. And next, just we are defining how many number of classes is there in our model. Okay, mobile net model, how many number of classes is there we are showing. Okay, so these are all models. And random.uniform means in the numpy package, random means it will generate -1 +1 +2 unlimited information. It will collect randomly. Okay, So it's just for colors purpose. Why? Because you can see in the output. So whenever the bottle is detected, it will come in the ash color. Whenever the parcel is detected in the pink, like that. For each and every individual object, unique color we have to generate. For that purpose, I am taking just unique colors. Okay. Next, so we are reading here that model by using the deep neural network attribute. So here read let from cafe means the cafe model we are going to read. So previously .xml file we used on hand.xml file. So to read that we are using cascade attribute. Here to read cafe model we are using read let from cafe attribute. Okay. Next the same process, video streaming, and we are separating the frames. And by separating the frames, we will do the pre-processing methods. Here I am converting into grayscale, and afterwards I am applying the canny edges. So you can see in the results, the canny edges. I will show you again once again clearly. It is just to identify the bottle shapes. Sorry, not bottle shapes, just object shapes. Why? Because we will show bottle in front of camera sometimes, but it won't show properly. Why? Because maybe some edges information is missing in our bottle. Maybe the light information is less. To know this information, just we are finding out the canny edges in our real-time video streaming process. Okay. So this is just to find out the shapes. It's no need to, no use for the object recognition process. Okay. Just to know how many edges we are finding, we are showing the object clearly or not. To know that we are using this one. Next we are using the IM-utils. By using this one, I am resizing it into 600 rows and columns. And next part is that from our object information, just we are finding out the blob. Blob means it's any shape. So blob from image means you can say it's any shape. Okay. So any shape information. We cannot say like patterns. So shapes will be different, patterns will be different. Okay. Shapes means clearly we can know. Blob also means nothing but like a rectangle or triangle shape. But here previously we identified patterns based upon the tree like that only. But patterns means it will be based upon like amoeba. Any shape will be there. It can detect. Patterns means here blob from image means particularly for the size information it will collect. Next. We are going to give this blob. So remember this one, our frame input information we are giving to the trained network. So what is this net means? Here we loaded information. So clearly cv2.dnn. So this by taking this cafe model we trained by using the deep neural networks algorithm. The trained information I am giving. For the trained information, I am giving the input as this blob information. Next, here this is the entire content to identify the objects. Okay. So now what is the information means? The blobs. Blobs is not decided still now. Whether what is the shape of that blob and what is the name. Everything is not designed. Just I am giving this as input for our trained model. Okay. Now. Next dot forward means whatever the objects it is detected, we are going to store in the detections. Now slowly what we will do means the detections we are going to identify what type of class is there according to our cafe model. So for which object it is matched, just we are finding that one, the detections. Okay. For that I am using one for loop, and in this for loop. This is a process. First of all, I am taking detections as one null. So one empty. Empty means we cannot say empty. Zeros I am taking. So initially the detections will be zeros. Nothing will be there. And whenever that object is added in our frame, any object added in our frame. So that one more than zero. Okay. So in that case, it will start to find out the edges. Object information. Okay. So you can see here clearly this entire information is just about to plot the rectangle box and to add the text information. Okay, so this entire information just to add the text information properly on the rectangular box creation only. So this one no need to explain clearly, it's very simple, just to add the text information on the object. Okay, so where it is detected clearly means here itself detected very clear, but we have to know, right? CV is doing that one only, computer vision process. Okay, so the work is that properly it is showing which type of object is there and how many percentage it is matched. The CV work this one simply. Okay, so here what we are doing means, first of all, whatever the detected parts is there, so by taking that one, just we are creating one rectangular box for that. Okay, after creating that rectangle box, now what we are doing means, just we are predicting that information. So by predicting that information, just we are adding that text. So CV2 dot put text on our frame. Label means here this entire text. So like how we can say percent 99.9% like that text it is showing. So the text information is this here only. Okay. So this is the format is about the from the classes. So classes means I showed upside now. So many classes is there. Okay. From all the classes, which one is matched? Okay, that format it will show clearly. And here confidence star 100 means, so it is like a formula. So in between 0 to 100, it will show how much percentage it is matched. Confidence means our object, simply the variable name, just variable name. Star 100 means just we are multiplying. Okay, by multiplying it's a 999 is there means by multiplying with 100 it will become like 99.9% like that. Okay, so just to show the percentage levels here we are using this one. So next this is just about the location where we have to show, and the text time, this is about the text information, and next the colors information. So colors means upside I'll show you clearly here. So np.random.uniform means unique colors we are designing. Okay, so VR means numpy package is generating randomly, numpy package is generating for our classes. For background it will generate one uniform means that one only. Okay, so uniform means one unique color it will detect for the background. It will generate one color, it will generate for the background. For aeroplane it will generate one color. Okay, so it is not about the object colors. Remember, not about the object colors. Whenever the particular object is detected, just to plot the rectangle box. Okay, so here according to the label means the object information, it is plotting the rectangle box. Okay, so this is about just width. Okay, so whatever the rectangle box created, it is just about the width. So fine, understood now? So here the important one is the model, how it is trained. Okay, and next we are showing that one cv2.im show frame information we are showing. So as this, if I put this information in comment means we are not able to see that execution process. In the background it will do everything, the calculations, everything, but we are not able to see simply. Okay, so next this one is about if this one is whenever we want to close the loop manually, we can use this information. So by directly pressing Q from our keyboard, the entire execution will break. Okay, so here by using this one we can do. And next is fps.update. fps.update means frames per second simply. Okay, so whatever the program we executed, so how many number of frames it is detected for the seconds, just it will show the elapsed time. Okay, so fine, once again I will execute this one. So to execute that argparse command, we have to go to the command prompt where the code is there, and just we have to paste that usage here. Okay, that's it. Automatically it will start the execution process line by line, and here we can see. So I have detected as a person as 100%, 99%, according to the frames. Okay, so for the frames it is changing. So here you can see bottom. And if you observe again, previously for me to create the rectangle box, it's shown in pink color. Now it's showing in some maroon, in different colors. So that's why I'm saying unique colors it will show. Fine. And if you observe here, the shape information of the bottle is showing off only. In that case also it is detecting clearly. Okay. So fine. And one more thing, just I have to show. I'll show you this one by using one recorded video. So first I'll play that one. So here you can see clearly. So this is our video. This is just for sample. So here I am going to dump that video information in our code. To do that one, instead of 0, just we have to give the video name. Video dot. So is that one. So here video dot mp4. So we have to give that extension also very clearly. Okay. Now we can execute this one. If any video name or the extension name given wrong, in that case it won't execute that one. So here So here you can see clearly, but you have to observe one thing. The frame rate will be slow, mostly. Very slow will be there whenever we are going through the recording video. Okay. So fine. So just how we can view that one, just I am showing you. In the code, just we, instead of 0, just we have to change with video dot. The recorded video name and extension. Just we have to do that. Okay. So this is about the object recognition and the pattern recognition by using the Sttp module. So if you are having any doubt regarding the session, you can ask me. If any queries also is there, means you can share.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have one question, sir, about object recognition.
Yes. Yes. Tell me,
Sir,
sir.
it particularly helpful for the defense area, sir. The object
Yeah, sir.
recognition.
Defense area means I'll show you, sir.
Defense area means to detect the object from the
Yes.
other country
So
coming
here,
towards.
whatever the objects we are able to detect, that one we have to know first of all. So, for example, here aeroplane we are able to detect means in that case, whenever unnecessarily any aeroplanes or helicopters is coming means we can detect that one in border areas, right? So like that. So it's purely it will compel definitely it will use there. So we can include we can add some more objects information also. So if you want to detect that jet planes information and mostly the guns, bullets, firing information, that objects information also we have to train clearly. So up to now by using this one, we by particularly in this code we can use by using aeroplane detection. We can do that aeroplane detection. So definitely it will use that. So I can say clearly it's like a demo on application. So based upon that, how we have to think according to our requirement, we can change the code and change.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other queries from the participants?
So, sorry, ma'am, your voice is not clear.
Any other queries from the participants? Okay, sir. On behalf of
Oh,
Funny Institute of Technology, I would like to extend the great thanks for you, sir,
thank you,
for,
ma'am.
for sharing your valuable knowledge and time for us. As a
Well,
token of gratitude, we would like to present a virtual memento for you, sir. Kindly accept it.
okay, fine, ma'am. And one thing, any learning program about this? So actually, it's like a learning process only, but within 2 hours, it's not possible. So if you want to know about this, we have to start from the basics. We have to start from the basics. So in that case, just we can develop according to our. So I told you, ma'am, aeroplane detection, people detection. I can change the code. So that is what comes under the learning process. To do that one, we have to learn from very basics again. So that's it, sir. Yeah, this one is the number. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm sure the presentation code will need. Yeah. I'll tell you. I can forward, but I'll tell afterwards. Definitely. I'll contact the management thing and I'll share that everything, whatever you need. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Fine.
Participants, the feedback link will be posted in the chat box.
Yeah, if any feedback, along with the feedback, here the link is there.
As if anyone wants to share the feedback, you can.